it is.
No, it's not.
This is welcome to the Straight Red Card. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell, because apparently that is more important than ever.
Also, check your phone settings. Make sure you have the notifications available for YouTube set. I feel like that might be an issue.
We've been having people complaining about that.
Tons of them saying, I'm not getting your notifications for this.
I'm not getting notified when your show comes up anymore. Like, yeah, hit the bell again or whatever. I don't know what else.
Push really fucking hard too. Just, oh god, 30 seconds, damn it.
Ding. Yeah. So you gotta do that at this point because the YouTube algorithm it's playing games. So we all right. This is the new thing I'm watching. I watched a documentary on the Falkland Island Wars. Remember those? Brett?
Yeah, briefly. Yeah. Sure.
You would have been very, very young, probably in your single digits at that point.
I always watch the news my single digits, man.
But I was in school. So I would have been 15, I don't know, somewhere around there. And you would have been 5. No, you would have been 2. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, you don't remember the Falkland Island War?
Difference between us? I didn't think it was that drastic.
No, well, I'm 50. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah, you're not too far off.
So it was funny because, this is the war between the Brits and the Argentinians over an island.
Yes. Okay.
Had more sheep than people on it. And it really brought me back to my high school days, early high school days when the war was going on. And we had this guy and his name was Antonio Earthman. And he was the funniest fucker in the school, dude. But he would always raise his hand. The teacher go in history class. Be like, oh, yeah. He said, are we going to talk about the fucking islands today? Every day for 2 weeks. He'd raise his hand and say, we're going to talk about the fucking islands today. The teacher's like, the Falkland Islands. Yeah, that's what I said, the fucking islands.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is being picked up by YouTube. But yeah, dude, this is the same guy and this wouldn't go over real well these days, but he used to walk around the hallway with a screw in his hand and he'd go up to girls and he'd go, hey, you want a screw? And they go, what? He said, yeah, here, I got a screw right here in my hand. So he had some weird sense of humor, very weird. He used to walk around one time he was walking down the hallways and he was asking people, hey, why isn't cunt in the table of contents? See, I just totally blew the show now because I said the C word, right? We're not allowed to say the C word as far as I know.
I'm sure it's frowned upon.
But it was in context with the contents. All right. So anyhow, that's Antonio Earthman. We're going to do a quick midweek report Tuesday through Thursday. We'll start on Tuesday when Otosawi actually made the 18 for Club Bruges. No. Yep, he did.
He's collected enough of the balls during practice to earn his way back into the 18, huh?
Something like that. Out of the doghouse, something. Maybe he didn't yap. I don't know. But it's good to see him back there. Hopefully, eventually. They were getting their asses beat, so I don't know why they didn't throw him in at the end for 10 minutes, but oh well. Adams went 30 and a win against Man City. Oh my God. So
hey, but Jack Steven got to start in goal for Man City, so that's pretty cool.
Jack Steven. Are you talking about that shit you sent me where they can't spell?
Yeah, so I decided to just take a look, see what all the scores were for the Champions League games and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I saw the highlights already for the Man City game, but I clicked on it anyways just to see more stats about it. And yeah. I noticed that there was a Jay Stevens starting for Man City as goalkeeper. I was like,
is
what
this
the fuck
on
is
Google?
This? Yeah,
this is Google. Okay.
Yeah. And I clicked on Jay Steven, and it took me to Jack Steven. And it's a picture of Zack.
Steffen.
Yeah, he's just chilling there. You know, there's a little bit of a foggy picture of him, but I'm like, maybe Jack's like a middle name or nickname. I clicked on his wiki, Jack Stevens wiki page, which takes you to Zack Steffen's wiki page. And
yeah, you think they'd figure that
there's
out?
Not a single Jack in his entire wiki page. So it's just like what the hell is Google up to here?
Yeah, somebody didn't type that in right. Speaking of which, yeah, he went 90 in the loss against Adams and Leipzig. But none of the goals were really his fault. So
made some great saves, man.
He did. He saved their ass in the first half. So but Adams played, I don't know, he played fine. But by the time he came in, they were really just kind of holding on as much as possible. So, but it's weird. Yeah, Marsch leaves. They win in the Champions League against probably the best team in the world, or close to the best team in the world. I mean, it's either Man City, Liverpool.
Yeah, when in fairness, Leipzig's goalkeeper came up huge too a couple times.
Yeah, he did.
Could easily have been a loss.
And the more and more we explore the story, I don't know if you've read the news that just came out more recently from the people running Leipzig, but what I said is exactly what fucking happened. They said, okay, can you get them to play this way instead? Because it honestly looks like they don't want to play the old Red Bull way. And Jesse said, well, I want to play the Red Bull way. And they said, well, why don't you play more like the guy before you? And Jesse said, I'm not gonna. And then they said, well, this ain't going to work then, I don't think. And then Jesse said, well, give me more time, but you might be right. And then he kept doing it and the players wouldn't do the high press. And then Jesse's like, fuck this, I mean, and they kept saying, well, just do what the other guy did. And Jesse said, I can't do that. And so that's how it all ended, folks.
Maybe if Leipzig wants a coach like Nagelsmann, maybe they should have just paid Nagelsmann to be there.
Yeah, well, you can't beat Bayern. They can always spend more.
I guess that's tough.
Yeah, they can always spend more. Joel Sonora was in the 18 for Banfield. Did not play, which is weird because I believe he started the last game and played really well. Cardoso also in the 18 for Internacional, did not play. Gooch.
They're resting him for the December camp though, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Gooch. 90 and 2 assists. All right.
The kid needs to get a move, man. He needs to get out of there.
Well, they are in the promotion zone right now.
Oh, damn.
So maybe they make it up.
Promotion by effort. Or not, getting out of there by effort, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it's really sad to see such a storied team like Sunderland down there this long. And when I say storied, I don't mean they're, former champions or anything like that, but they've been around a long time. They were in the top division and they have never dropped. I mean, they might have, dropped this low before, between 1990 and now when I've been paying attention to EPL soccer, but not that I can remember. I remember them mostly being in the first division. So it's kind of sad to see them down there and stuck down there so long.
I mean, they survived Josie. So
well, and it's yeah, that might have been one of the reasons they're down there. But it's kind of like Nottingham Forest. They were in the 70s. They were just in the 80s. They were the Premier League team or the first division team, and they've been stuck down so long. It's just ridiculous. Anyhow, Queens Park Rangers was down there for a while too. So, but they might make it up. We'll see. Wednesday was Pulisic's 25 and an assist in a 3-3 tie for Chelsea in the Champions League. A kind of shocking 3-3 tie.
What a surprising game by Werner too, man. Jesus. 2 goals and an assist.
I mean, the pass that Pulisic gave to Werner for that last goal was spot on, and it was great play. It was tiki-taka. Pulisic to can't remember who, then back to Pulisic, then Pulisic through to Werner. Werner scores the goal. It was the defense of Chelsea that sucked. They were horrible all night long. So
that's odd too, because under Tuchel, the defense has been pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, generally. I mean, when you play three in the back and you're really yanking those two right back, left backs, wing backs.
I'm trying to think if were any of the goals really Kepa's fault though. I don't think.
I don't think so. I remember watching it and not really thinking Kepa was to blame for any of those goals.
I know the final goal was just a fucking rip. It was a bomb.
Yeah, it was. So, yeah, I don't think it's Kepa's fault, but the back three weren't secure. They didn't. They were.
James had a couple blunders there too.
Oh my God, did he ever? Some of those.
I believe Kepa came up huge on a couple of them too with James.
Yeah, because there were several breakaways.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing.
Literally, I think Zenit's second goal, literally after kickoff, they had an immediate another chance. Almost, it seemed like.
I was really impressed by Zenit.
Yeah.
Especially that Iranian center forward.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name. I mean, he was really good that game. Never heard of him before that game. I don't follow.
I knew him from the other Zenit games. So from Juve and watching the Chelsea game, I heard enough of him. But outside of that, I've never really paid attention.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to Russian soccer in general. McKennie was injured again, or still. Dest.
Good news is though, McKennie's back to training with Juve. So,
they need him
back. Yeah,
they need him.
They beat Malmo 1-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
work,
but
I guess.
They should beat Malmo by a lot more than 1-0. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, in the old days, that's like a 5-0 game. Dest yanked it halftime. Played right winger.
Dude, yeah.
Ow.
There's some transfer talk that Dest. We've already talked about him possibly being on the chopping block.
Right.
But there's more talk now from a Gerard Romero talking about Frankie De Jong.
De Jong.
Sorry, I like Jong.
De Jong. Cheech and Jong.
Ter Stegen and Dest both on the chopping block, or all on the chopping block, not both.
Why? Well, I guess you could get a lot of money for Der Stegen.
So, Der Stegen. Okay.
Dest.
Hammering these pronunciations out. Appreciate that.
Dest, I think they could make like a $15 million profit selling Dest to like Bayern or something. But I mean, he's the cheapest guy they've got on, who regularly plays and starts on their lineup. One of the cheapest.
No, Xavi just doesn't rate him. He doesn't rate him.
It's not. I don't think it's because Xavi doesn't rate him. It's because Xavi came out and said he still needs to learn where to be when we move forward, and that's something we're going to have to work on. And other than that, he's a very skilled player. He likes him a lot, but I think it's his positioning that he doesn't like. And I notice this a lot with Dest as well. Even when they're playing,
one of his biggest critiques we always have with the United States team is his defensive presence.
His presence
not being there,
his positioning, and actually it's really weird because for Barcelona he actually does play defense okay. It's just when they're moving forward, he doesn't seem to get involved as much as he should be getting involved, and I think that's one of the number one complaints that they have with him is moving forward. They're like, okay, forget about defense. We're going to just play you outright as a forward now. And it's still not working. And it didn't work this week. So I don't know. Getting yanked at halftime, man, that's just hurtful if you're a player. You're like, damn, I did that bad? Yeah, you did. We're yanking you. You're that bad right now. Siabado 60 in a tie. Or PFOC, excuse me. And Aronson 90 in a win. John Brook
once again.
Yeah, he did. He actually got back to normal.
Yeah.
Would have liked to have seen assists, but he was there for a lot of the link-up play.
Yeah.
John Brooks was in the 18, didn't play for Wolfsburg. And boy, that was not they look like shit. Cool. So you might want to get Brooks back in there, but they might be more worried about league at this point.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, they're giving Brooks a breather.
Or Champions League opportunities are pretty shot at this point.
Yeah,
exactly. Let's just wait. Let's just make sure we salvage what we can from the league.
Although there are a lot of rumors floating around at Wolfsburg that Brooks is an unhappy dude. and the fact that he's lost his everyday starting role, and now he's getting shifted around, has irritated him in the locker room.
That kind of goes along with what Brian had mentioned about Brooks, whereas he always, regardless of the coach, he always has some kind of a spat with him.
Yeah, exactly. He's a hard-headed dude. He's soft-spoken, but hard-headed. Weah is still injured. I don't know what happened with the Fossey. I mean, there was a Fulham U23 game scheduled. I don't know if it ever got played. They've been canceling some games because of the new Rona thread. So, yeah, I don't know if that game got played or not. And that would have been Damian Loss as well, would have been on that team. I don't know. They were supposed to schedule play. I looked it up, and then I looked it up earlier today. Still nothing. No score up, no nothing. So, Dominic Duncan. This is a new name. Never heard of this kid before. He's 22. He's a defender, and he plays for RW Koblenz. And in German, RW stands for Rot-Weiß, red-white. And he had a goal for RW Koblenz. This is way down there in 3 Bundesliga, but what the fuck? Ken Gibson, 90 for Sonnenhof. And finally, we get to Thursday today, which will be tomorrow for you. Kappas played 30 for Brøndby in a loss. Richie Ledesma at least got on the bus and went to the Europa thingy with PSV, who they lost.
A good sign.
Yeah. So, we saw him play for the 2 team not too long ago. So maybe they were like, yeah, we like you back up. And
he still got it.
You still got it, motherfucker. Get back up in this top drawer. Yeah. Sam Vines did not play for Antwerp, but I do believe it's because Antwerp already had to turn over their lineup before Vines was signed. And if you don't make that lineup, then you can't be included in the 18 or on the team. So, because he's not injured.
For the league match, though, so we're good.
Yep. Timothy Chandler continues to play really well for Eintracht Frankfurt. Just saying, Ty. CCV, I believe it's the same reasons, did not play for Celtic as Vines. He was not listed on the original league roster when the league started. So I don't believe you can add players to that. That was old school rules. I don't know what the rules are now. Maybe they've changed. I mean, but I don't understand any other reason why CCV wouldn't. He's their regular starter for Celtic. Why wouldn't he be playing in the European cups? So Henry Wingo did not dress for Ferencváros, but I do believe that's because he's actually injured. But I could be wrong. There's not a lot of information out of Hungary I can get. So Mark McKenzie, 90 for Genk again, but this time
3 matches in a row now.
Yeah, and guess this time it was Lucini who rode Pine for like 70.
Sounds like they're just rotating their center backs,
just like flip flopping their center backs all over the fuck. And then Lucini came in for that guy, the other guy, not
took
McKenzie.
A spot. Oh, bitch.
Yeah, so it's really weird. It's like they're trying to find some chemistry maybe back there, but it looks like they've decided McKenzie is a part of the chemistry. They're just trying to figure out who can play next to McKenzie. I hope that's what it looks like. I mean, we're 3 or 4 games into this.
Minutes, man.
Yeah, we're seeing a pattern. So Brian Reynolds did not dress for Roma. He might have already been on the plane back here. Whoever knows.
Might as well.
Exactly. And Suarez had 90 and a loss for Dorados. Suarez. He plays for Dorados in the Mexican Expansión League. And so he went 90. He plays regularly for Dorados, at least recently. So weird. My headphones don't seem to be working like normal.
Yeah, I understand. You can't hear what I'm saying.
No, it's that one of my, can you hear that? Okay, no, that's me. What the fuck? I got it. All right, let me close this. Exit screen. I mean, this is weird. YouTube just randomly started playing during our show in my ears. All right, let's see what else was there. We're done with this. This is done. So anything to add before we close the show?
I've got a fun story.
Oh, okay. I like fun stories.
Yeah. So today after work, driving back, pick up my daughter at daycare. Muscle memory, just heading back. I pull up and walk up to the door, and daycare guy opens the door and says, "Dude, Charlie's not here." I go, "What? Of course she's here." And he's like, "No, she's not here." And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, my mother-in-law's coming to town. Did Evie go and pick her up so that she's here whenever her mom comes into town? But she didn't let me know. And as I'm thinking this, he goes, "No, dude, it's Thursday." And I go, "Oh, son of a bitch." So every Thursday, I take Charlie to my parents' house, and they watch her. So I made the trip from work, which is like 2.5 minutes from my parents' house. 3/4 of the way back to my house, which is where daycare's at. Just so I can drive all the way past work to go pick up Charlie, just so I can drive all the way back. Today sucked.
All of us with kids have done this. All of us have done this.
The daycare guy is like, "Dude, you made me so scared that I lost a kid at some point today."
But dude, I have done this too. I've done this with Nick. I remember one time I went to Boys and Girls Club to pick him up after work, and I went in and he wasn't in the normal place he was. And I walked around the whole fucking building and I kept looking for him and I couldn't find him. I went to the front desk. I'm like, "Yeah, I can't find my son. I'm here to pick up my son, Nick Summer." And they're like, No, you're not." I'm like, "I'm not? What do you mean I'm not?" They're like, "No, he's not here on Fridays." Oh, fuck.
Shit,
you are so fucking right. It is Friday. I thought it was Thursday. My fucking bad. Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
I know.
Except for
it literally is.
Being in Bloomington, I'm sure you didn't drive a ridiculous distance from the southeast corner of Fishers to the almost northwest corner of Noblesville.
No,
just to drive back
suck.
to McCordsville. It's like, oh my God, no.
Yeah, no, that would suck. I think the good news for me was a couple things. One, was like a 10 minutes out of the way.
Yeah.
And two, she told me it was Friday and I didn't know it was Friday. I'm like,
Maybe
hell yeah, it's Friday.
Woo!
Thank God. So I was actually happy. I probably went and drove and got like a Belgian beer and went home because my wife had already picked up Nick from school. So
yeah, you need an excuse when you come home smell like alcohol. Then at least they think, "Oh, geez, you went to a fucking bar."
No,
I didn't go to the Boys and Girls Club to try to pick them up. I swear.
Yeah, that was really never a problem with me after like 34. I was a pretty reliable guy. 34, 35. All right, so we got the Jack Steven thing covered, and the Falkland Islands. And so we're done with this show, and we will be back, and we're going to talk about whether or not Pulisic should stay or leave Chelsea and what we think about it. I think somebody asked us this, so that's why we're going to talk about it. All right, until the next time on the Straight Red Card, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandmother, and hit the bell. Good night.